What's up, YouTube? Yeah, what you see right here, this is all the functional equations you need to track your macros. So to track your macros correctly, you need to know all the stuff out here. I got just kidding. Actually, about doing a presentation for cybersecurity here at UD Mercy, and they gave me a very small classroom. So if you don't see me pulling out a Dreamcast or anything else, it's because this is a layout. So yeah, it's gonna be real basic if I get to record anything. So yeah, see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so today we're going to go over the basic concepts about cybersecurity. I apologize for all the technical issues we ran earlier today, but we'll go ahead and get started momentarily. So basically, here representing the Cyber Intelligence Studies program. And a little bit about myself, I'm actually here as an adjunct professor, teach part-time, doing mostly cybersecurity classes, mostly network security and a few program courses here and there. And if I ever become available, hopefully get to where I go to PhD level. So currently I'm also involved with Black Data Process Associates as well as Black Engineers as well. So first we're going to look at would be the importance of information security. And hopefully everybody can read this. It's a little bit bigger. And it's definitely important because bad guys run everything, such as using hyperlinks and emails without, hey, we'll send you to a different website. You click on this link, give us your credit card information, security information, and I'm rich, came from Africa, I'll give you $10 million and give me your bank account information. So, of course, as people actually fell for that still, they had to say, hey, guess what, we got to disable hyperlinks in a certain email for this company. Instead it goes USB thumb drives because we got to the point now where they're actually putting like actual malware on a USB thumb drive. So when you pump in a machine, and let's say you have an unpatched version of Windows, it automatically boot up into it like you would an auto-run CD-ROM file. So then go ahead and unload malware to the system's computer. So at that point, companies have to go in there and disable USB devices completely. But of course, they actually have functionality in the network. You need to have something that actually works, which is why you got to make smart choices with your information security. And basically, information security is defined as protecting one's knowledge, data, information from harm. And this can actually be done in multiple ways. Basically, you need to protect everything both physically and digitally because it doesn't make sense to have the best firewall software, best hardware firewall, antivirus, and malware programs if you're still going to go to your system and hack into it, or simply leave a piece of paper on a table, someone can pick it up, walk off with it, get your personal information that way, or have information sit on there on an unlocked screen like a tablet, PC monitor, or a phone. And of course, there are plenty of devices out there right now with the Internet of Things, such as the Raspberry Pi and similar devices. And here we look at the three pillars of information assurance, which would be confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality means keeping everything secure and safe that needs to be secured and safe, or keeping what needs to be private, make sure it remains private and not able to be seen by the wrong people. Integrity means you want everything to function. What you want going in is what you expect to come out. So a prime example would be a few years ago when Amazon had this bug in their site where they actually had the amount that you owed somebody in the actual the string of the URL itself. So let's say someone was buying like a PS4, it normally comes up with like $3.99. Well, they can go in there, oh, $3.99 is here. They change the value to like $1. So next thing you know, they just bought a brand new PlayStation for $1. And of course, Amazon fixed this bug very quickly, which goes to show you a prime example why integrity is definitely important. They find availability because here's the thing, you want to keep everything secure, but if you can't get to something, what's the point of having it in the first place, having a network in the first place? Another example would be, especially nowadays for our phones, old school, you keep it on the phone, and hey, that's your music, and now you pretty much boost everything to the cloud. The problem is, if I lose my signal with Verizon or AT&T, then guess what, I'm in the middle of a song, and oh, Can't get to my song anymore. But if I have it on my phone, it's no issue. Same thing goes to your data in general because most people will have their documents on their hard drives. And of course, also save them to a CD-ROM drive or a floppy disk way back in the day, as well as USB drives. And they find the cloud, and that's actually is pretty much the best way to do it, having an external hard drive as well as a cloud computer. Because let's say a fire or something tries to happen to your physical desktop or the area in which the thumb drive is stored, then you're out of luck. But if it's in the cloud, you're good to go. However, if the cloud, that service goes kaput, and all your data in the cloud is gone with it, if you do anything locally, you're out of luck. Same thing goes when the network itself goes down. Any questions? All right. And now we're talking about today's attacks and defenses against certain attacks. And basically, in the last few years, it's pretty much has gone up exponentially, especially with all the botnets and zombies plaguing the networks that you see right now. And of course, no matter how secure you make a system, it will never be completely secure from any and all threats. And of course, there actually is some decent money in there. Not enough to be super uber rich, but enough to actually get a living out of it in information assurance, which is why there are two broad fields and categories of information security positions, which include administration and management of plans, policies, and people, which, yeah, it's mixing this money. They also have positions that are concerned with design, configuration, installation, maintenance of technical equipment, and finally, it's split into four positions, which would be your CISO, or Chief Information Security Officer, Security Manager, Security Administrator, and finally, Security Technician, who's going to play with plenty of toys like the ones you see on the table. And because you know how to make some yourself, that's where the real money is going to be in the next few years, in my humble opinion. And of course, you also have different organizations like Krebs of Security, who've also been hacked recently. And Krebs is actually one of the major outlets out there for doing network security. So if they can get hacked, anybody can get hacked. And then moving on, the IRS has been hacked. So the whole thing with their PIN numbers, a lot of PIN numbers got compromised a little while ago. Then on top of that, you also had to deal with DYDNS, which was like one of the major sites for actually hosting websites that got hacked. And of course, everybody knows about Yahoo.com and their hacks. And of course, the next slide actually deals with a lot of the devices you'll see people playing around with through the Internet of Things. So you of course have the Raspberry Pis, as well as a lot of the clones for the Raspberry Pi, like the BeagleBone Black. Then you also have the Land Turtle and some devices that are created from Hack 5, including this, which would be the Wi-Fi Pineapple, which is actually good to sniff packets of different devices. So something you easily get from hack5.org. They just released something known as the Bash Bunny, which pretty much opens like a keylogger with a few other a lot of other features built inside of it. So basically, it's a device similar to this, and it's a full Linux desktop environment installed with a little thumb drive like this. Pop this inside your computer and use that to do a lot of hacking on there. And I advise you to buy the Bash Bunny. Make sure you use it on a used, beat up, banged up computer. Get a Microsoft for $50. Do not do this on a $1,000 computer. You just buy. I repeat, do not use a brand new computer when using these type of tools, because I believe your parents will be very, very upset with you if you decide to do that. And perfect time, because now I finally got my display back up. So, of course, there are some difficulties in defending against attacks, and this basically includes universally connected devices such as the Internet of Things I mentioned earlier, increased speed of attacks, greater sophistication of attacks, the availability and simplicity of attack tools, so you can buy online, faster detection of vulnerabilities, delays in patching, weak patch distribution, and finally, user confusion. All right, and what viruses do your computer? They can cause your computer to crash repeatedly, erase all files from your hard drive, self-replicate and consume all your free space, turn on security settings, and finally reformat your hard drive, so they'll do a lot more than just annoy you with a blue screen of death or Clippy popping up on your screen. And now we'll look at social engineering, and basically you can think about this as hacking someone's machine without the need of computers. So basically, another terminology a lot of people like to use for this would be turn someone into like a human USB thumb drive. So basically, you're talking to somebody, just talking about this random stuff, talking about, hey, who won the Super Bowl, what type of micronutrients you need. That's when you know you're talking about all about security, passwords, usernames, and you've been compromised. And of course, even little other tricks that people don't think about, where someone may actually get a brown UPS outfit and a bot say, hey, I'm UPS man, I have a device, sorry, I have devices for you. They say, oh, sure, you're a UPS guy, come on in, come on in, come on in. They download the box, have these strings to make it look like it's a legit vacation or a legit trip to the facility. Then they pull out the little key lock, plug it to the back of the machines, walk off, say, okay, guys, sign up here, have a nice day, go back to their location, and then log into someone's computer from a distance, which is why it's important to make sure with physical security, you screen people from bringing them into a facility, especially if you got sensitive information. Any questions? All right. And of course, you also the issue of privacy. So of course, Apple computers a few years ago pretty much had it made it so, hey, law enforcement, you're not going to get the information from an iPhone. Hey, sorry, it's not going to work that way. Even though Congress just passed a bill recently where now ISPs can freely sell anyone's information that goes to their sites. Sorry, use their services, 2 different companies for advertising purposes. So that's an issue that's being fought right now. And of course, this goes across party lines, everybody knows this. And last but not least, for your personal machines, Intel's actually started putting more functionality to the chips themselves, so you have encryption right there on the hardware versus the software. And of course, there are even Linux distributions specifically for privacy as well as pen testing and everything else. So Kali Linux is pretty much the best OS for this. It's used to audit and do stress tests on the network. It also tells you specifically made for privacy, and it found a Tor browser. So to give you an idea, you can get more information about Kali Linux at kalilinux.org. And I don't know why this thing makes me close PowerPoint to get everything else. Second. Actually, and computers normally decide they want to mess up on you when you're working on something. Okay, display, do not, don't extend it, just duplicate the screen. Apply. Keep settings, yes. Thank you, Microsoft, trying to make stuff easier and make it more complicated. Okay, so Kali Linux you get from kalilinux.org. It's pretty much the primary program a lot of people use, or Linux distribution, do a lot of pen testing and actually pretty much piggybacked off of Backtrack. And now there's a more advanced one, or one that's a little easier to use, known as Parrot Security or Parrot Linux. So this is a good one to look at. So you can get this from parrotsec.org. Pretty much load this in the VirtualBox. A lot easier to install. And last, you have Tails, which I just mentioned earlier, pretty much used to surf the web anonymously. And then, of course, people are going to ask me next, okay, what's VirtualBox and what's virtualization? VirtualBox is a program you can actually download from Oracle. Just go to virtualbox.org, and it pretty much allows you to run an entire desktop operating system on top of a different computer. And they have for Windows, Linux, and Mac. And while I'm talking about what virtualization is, I'll go ahead and let this thing load up a variation of Tails Linux OS that I just mentioned earlier. Okay, so while this loads up, go ahead and set the live distribution. Basic virtualization allows you, like I mentioned earlier, to run desktop on top of another one. So the way virtualization works, it pretty much shares your CPU as well as other resources from your computer, so it doesn't have the problems that emulation has. So it actually will run crash because it is using real hardware, but the thing is still using CPU cycles, so they're gonna run as fast as a native computer, but still gives you a lot better performance. So with this, you can pretty much emulate and simulate your audio cards, video cards, pretty much all your hardware right there on one spot. And there's actually one more thing I have to talk about. Now it loads up. So while it's loading up, we have one more announcement. This There's also something here at the university known as CyberPatriot Summer Camp Program in Battle Creek, Michigan. So if you get a chance, do a quick search for CyberPatriot Summer Camp, and in Battle Creek, Michigan, you should be able to find it, or go to Eventbrite, and it'll be right there. And this is a good program because it's basically set up so high school students can pretty much compete against each other in different aspects of information security. Basically, a lot of doing pen testing, set up an operating system, securing it, and then so on, as well as trying to defend and create different attacks on the system. Okay, and then back to Tails. Once the file loads up, you just hit, you want more options? Nope, just hit log in, and then it'll log you in. And this desktop is very similar to Windows. However, say you have the little Windows desktop icon at the bottom, it's going to be at the top. And from there, you pretty much scroll up your mouse, choose the internet, open the browser, and then boom, you open up Tails, and it's like using Firefox, but it's an anonymous version of it. So you go to Applications, Internet, finally to our browser, and there you go. Say Start Browser, and if I had a Wi-Fi connection, we'd be good to go. And of course, once you're done with it, it actually will tell you to spare screen prompt, remove the CD, hit the power button, and it wipes the actual system RAM if it was a real computer from the system memory. So the next person that sees it won't be able to access the end of the day you just looked at. Okay, so any questions? Okay, as you can see right here, I failed miserably trying to deadlift rope this go-kart with my bare hands. Can use chalk and if you know it's professional facility, so they give him some gloves. And even still, I need a little bit of assistance. Yeah, I know, kind of a weak effort, but hey, it is what it is. We still have fun out there. And got a chance to work with the kids. So hey, no complaints, no loss. P.S. Don't worry, nobody went to Snap City.